Hey Roadies, this is Adriana from Roadie Free Radio. In this episode, Larry speaks to house engineer Chip Auchincloss. Chip has been in the sound industry for over 20 years, where he has gone on to tour at several venues including Sony Hall, World Stage, Webster Hall, and B.B. King's Blues Club, where he got his start. In this short clip, Chip talks about his transition from working tech at small clubs to going on to big tours. For him, it was a big step as he quickly learned that you gotta know everything. Through trial by fire, Chip has since been on dozens of tours, including Working the Garden, touring with Regina Spektor, The Monkees, Sylvan Esso, and Childish Gambino. Climbing his way up to monitor engineer, his ultimate goal to pursue music no matter what the job was. If you want to hear more about Chip, make sure to check out the full episode, number 121 from February 5th, 2019. Thank you for listening, and thank you for subbing. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, like 04 is when I got my first, real, professional work. I mean, I started when 02 was learning at a studio and stuff, but then didn't really get things fully off the ground until like 04 when I started at B.B. King's Blues Club, and then everything just went off from there.
Right.
And it just went quick.
It went crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
even like the
lucky.
first three bands were Soul Live, Psychedelic Furs, Regina Spektor. Pretty awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was right out of the gate, and I mean, I wanted to get on the road right away. So 05, I started on the road, and then it just all took off.
What was the sort of moment that got you to Soul Live? That got you the Soul Live gig? I'm working at BB King's.
Yeah, like
someone likes what I did.
My buddy of mine who had he kind of brought me along, and he got me my first few starts. He got me into the club, and we were doing a lot of work together. And he was tour managing for them, and he knew I was itching to get on the road, and I wanted to get going. And he convinced him to take me out, and I was green as all get out. And, I didn't know shit. But, so, he kind of gave me a shot, and it was definitely trial by fire. And it just kind of worked out, and then just kind of went from there. I mean, I probably learned more from that first tour than I, ever did. So I mean, like a lot of the learned some of the most important things, especially touring wise, from there. And then,
which were what?
Just perseverance. Just learning the rigors of the road, and I mean, because it was rough. I mean, it was rough for me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of expectations. I mean, I only knew so much, and they expected. I was going out as a backline tech, and probably had more audio background at the time. But I mean, I was just coming from a club, and so it was like, okay, well, you gotta know this stuff. And you gotta know it now, and you gotta figure it out now, and you gotta learn it now, quick.
Were you just helping one artist? Did you have a couple guys, or what?
Well, I was like I was supposed to be the main backline tech. There was already a guitar tech and front of house engineer.
Okay.
And I mean, they had it. I mean, God bless those guys. I mean, they were helping me along the way. And I'm sure it sucked for them because, I only knew so much. But I mean, I worked hard, and I picked it up as quick as I could. And it was definitely it was a chore.
Yeah.
But and I got worked hard. But it was. I mean, in hindsight, I hated it at the time. And I was making like no money, but but I mean, or also couldn't sort of getting what they were paying for at the moment. But I mean, just so valuable lessons on that. Yeah. Just catering to artists, knowing what they need, just being Johnny on the spot. Mm-hmm. If there's a problem, you got to fix it 5 minutes ago. Right. And just being ready, being the go-to guy, and then just learning all the ins and outs of everything. Right. Between drums and guitars and keys and pedals and cable, just the whole nine. It was just a lot of trial by fire.
So just prior to BB King's, what was going on?
I was working just a crappy day job in Connecticut. I was living in Norwalk at the time. And like I had a weekly recording gig for this guitar player, Wayne Krantz. This little jazz, fusion jazz, I guess, whatever you want to call it. He had a weekly residency at the 55 Bar in the West Village. And so I got hired to just record him live once a week. You know, paid like $50.
Yeah.
And so I would just truck down from Connecticut and do that. And then I was helping out just friends of mine in bands, and then I got fired from my job because
the day job.
Yeah, I mean, I was coming into the city 3-4 nights a week, like, you know, just like I was doing just like a lot of just live recording, just, you know, just for myself,
just to do it,
and just going to live shows all the time, but you know, missed the last train out at 1:30, so I slept, you know, a lot of nights at Grand Central, and then roll straight into work, and you know, I'd be, you know, an hour late all the time, and they're just like, you know, I just don't think this is gonna work out, and I mean, I hated it. So
yeah,
so
it made sense. But did you know at that point that like a career in music, that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, that was all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care what it is. That's just all I wanted to do.
Did you have avenues or people to go to?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I had a lot of musician friends, and my friend Pete, who brought me along, and he was trying to get me into situations, but you know, nothing like had really panned out. But I saw, you know, might be a couple avenues, and then I got fired, and then it just opened the doors.
Yeah.
Like my buddies who I was helping out, like, oh great, you can come out on tour with us. I'm like, yeah, no, I have no money, and neither do you. So, I mean, I would love to, but and then, you know, a month or two later, I got into the club, and it just all went from there.
Yeah.
So
I'm just curious, real quick, to ask this. So you haven't been on the road in how long?
July was my last date, and that was Fuji Rock in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's like whatever that is, 6 months ish.
God, yeah.
Something. Is it hard for people that like, if you got a call tomorrow and it's like, hey, dude, we're going out next week. I mean, obviously, your shit's packed, you're ready to go.
Right.
At a moment's notice.
Sure.
Is it hard to all of a sudden get back into the rhythm if they were like, it's going to be a 2-month tour?
A little.
I mean, I know you're excited and you're like, let's go, let's get there. But then there are a few days of like, whoa.
You know, it's usually the first couple of days, like, oh, all right, back into this.
Right, back on the bus.
Yeah, I got to get back in that mindset, and then just even just the workload and the day to day. It's like, oh boy, all right, I got to get back into this game. But you know, it's like old hat. So you just kind of, I mean, it takes a couple of days to adjust, maybe, you know, a show or two, like, oh, all right, yeah, now I remember how to do this.
Right.
And then it's all, you know, muscle memory.
Anything you do out there to sort of help get back in the mindset, or stay in the mindset, or keep your head clear?
It's really just jump right in. You
Yeah.
just, you know, until you're, you know, used to it back enough. Like, oh, all right. You know, it. Luckily, if you have like a day or two of rehearsals or something, you can kind of like, all right, fumble your way through. And
right.
I mean, luckily that
guy's going to be difficult.
Yeah, like, all right,
she's going to be a pain.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. All right, cool. I mean, like having the local work lately has been a godsend, because if I'm not working for a while and then go back out, then it's like, oh,
right.
All right, I got to remember, you know, how do I tune a guitar? How do I do this? How do I EQ? You know, just whatever.
Yeah.
So at least like I've been staying fresh and like on top of things. So it's like, all right, cool. I mean, depending on the position, you know, if it's more backline related, then it's really like a head scratch. Like, oh, all right, what do I?
Hey, what's happening, roadies? It's Larry here. Just wanted to thank you so much for listening to this short clip. I really hope you got something out of it. If you can take 2 seconds to head over to iTunes and drop us a review or a comment, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep listening, keep coming back, stay healthy out there, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.